and welcome back to our channel. Today we are here with Carla Thomas, who really exciting, took our pharmacy tech course at KLR Medical Certification Training School quite a while ago now. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and is now working as a certified pharmacy technician. Carla, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Katie.
So let's talk about, I just want you to kind of introduce yourself a little bit, talk about how you found KLR, and why did you decide to take the pharmacy tech course, and what was your experience with KLR?
My name is Carla Thomas. I found out about KLR through the Goodwill Excel Center. I was a student there to get my high school diploma. And it was quite a few options for an extra class to take, but I had already been in healthcare almost 20 years. And so why not take something in a field that I knew I would be interested in? So that's what made me take the class.
And what was your experience with KLR during the course? How did it go?
It was great. Actually, it really, really was great. You were my instructor for the most part. And the fact that, any questions I had in class, outside of class, emails were responded promptly. I couldn't have went to a better program. I'm glad I chose KLR.
Thank you. And remind me, it's been a while. When did you take class?
Last year, let me see, I graduated in December. So I want to say we ended in October, November, maybe.
Okay. Of last year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was still the instructor. So if many of you don't know, and Carla, you might not know, I am no longer teaching any of the classes because we're offering so many of them. And so I am no longer teaching those. I do jump in for guest speaking and to kind of talk to the students and get to know them. And I'm still around for questions and stuff, but we do have a whole different instructor now. Mr. Brent is awesome and students love him. So yeah, it's been a while now. So after you finished at KLR and the Excel Center, congratulations, by the way, you started using your certification as a certified pharmacy technician. Tell us about that and where you're working, how that happened. What's your title? Tell us about your position.
So I got my certification in January of this year. I didn't actually apply for anything until like the end of February, first part of March. And now I'm currently working as a certified pharmacy technician at Methodist North Hospital here in Memphis, Tennessee. The experience has been amazing. It is definitely different than being a nursing assistant, being on the nursing side, but the team that I work with every day has been absolutely amazing. They really have.
That's awesome. Are you an inpatient pharmacy or retail pharmacy?
Inpatient.
Inpatient. So what are some of the things you do there? What are some of the roles you have?
So I work as a table technician, whereas we kind of monitor the medication requests that come in, and we submit the request, and the pharmacy checks the medication. I'm also working in the IV room. Yay.
That's a lot of work.
Yes. I also work as a cart technician. We take everything and take it up to the floors, and I also work Omnicell.
Awesome. What do you think of Omnicell?
I love it.
You do?
I love Omnicell.
I loved Omnicell too. So I was the Omnicell technician. That was part of my position at the hospital, and I loved it. I didn't have anything to compare it to a whole lot. I don't know if you've worked with any other systems, probably not if that's your first position in a hospital, but we had Pyxis prior to that, and it was not my favorite. Omnicell just held so much more and was so much more user-friendly, and I really like those machines. So if you guys are interested in hearing about Omnicells or automated dispensing machines, you can head over to our blog, and we do have a blog post on that information. Do you guys do chemo there at your hospital?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Are you doing any of that?
Not at this moment. Not yet. Yeah.
Okay. What are your favorite things about being a pharmacy technician?
So my favorite thing about being a pharmacy technician is just learning. I mean, it's so much you can learn every single day, just learning different kind of insulins, different kind of medications, just, pre-packing and things of that nature. Learning about dispensing medications, also paying attention to detail, which is very important with anything that comes out. So for me, I think it's just the learning part. Every day is something different. Every day you're learning something even more, especially because I'm the new kid on the block, as I say. So that's the biggest thing. I always like learning something new anyway.
Well, and two, I think it's really important for new technicians to understand how quickly it moves and it grows and it changes. And so once you feel like you've learned something perfectly in the world of pharmacy or healthcare in general, I feel like it changes. There's an
Changes.
update, there's a shortage, there's a back order.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're
Mm-hmm.
switching it all over again and learning a whole different process. And so I think it's really important to be very flexible and open to change in these positions.
Mm-hmm.
What kinds of things do you find most challenging as a new technician?
The most challenging thing for me was learning the different areas of the hospital.
Everybody says
Especially.
that. I am so directionally challenged, Carla. You have no idea. And I worked in a small local hospital and it took me weeks to figure it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, especially like if I pick up a evening shift or night shift, and we have to take, where we have to deliver on day shift, you don't necessarily deliver on night shift. So, oh my God, I'm all over the place. I'm still learning.
Well, your hospital's huge too, isn't it?
And it's not even the biggest one. It's not really, really huge, but a new technician coming in, yes, you have to
It's gonna
remember
be
where
like
everything.
overwhelming.
Yes, and it can be. It can be very overwhelming, but I'm learning. I'm getting better.
Are you still the newest technician there, or you have other people who you're kind of helping train now?
So I'm still the newest technician. I've been there since April of this year. We've had a new hire, but she was already experienced. So,
Okay.
yep, she had already been in pharmacy for some years. So, yep, I'm still the new kid.
Okay. Okay. Well, that won't last forever either. And I think it'll be really cool to hear about your experience in training someone, because I feel like you are very open with others, and that'll be really great to see you open up to and learn how to train, because I think and you can kind of tell me your experience when new people are training you, or when your new team is training you. I think it's really important for those people to understand like how we felt as new
Mhm.
technicians in those areas, because it can be really overwhelming. And if you have a good trainer, it makes all the difference.
Yes, it does. It makes a major difference.
Yeah. So what are some things now? You've been working in pharmacy for what, like 8 months now? Goodness.
Almost six. Almost 6 months.
Almost 6 months. Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, what would you say are some of the things you learned in class at KLR that you are using quite frequently at work?
The biggest thing I learned in class was the math part. I didn't really think that the math would be such an issue, but it is. It is very important, especially in the IV room, because that math can mess up if you're not paying attention and you don't do things properly. And so I'm big on, me, I'm gonna ask a question. So even if I have to pull a pharmacist in and like, okay, explain this to me. So the math is the major part. I thought that I was gonna actually get to use a lot of seed codes, but I don't. But the math is the biggest thing.
So yeah, I think it's important to point out too to new technicians, if you're listening to this, if you're getting ready to take the course, if you're in the beginning of the course right now, inpatient, hospital pharmacy, and retail pharmacy are very, very different. And so,
Mhm.
Carla, you're not using those SIG codes as much because you're not inputting data. The pharmacist and the doctors are doing that. And so that's where those SIG codes are going to come from, which is retail. But that
Mhm.
math piece in the IV room, oh my goodness, 100% needing that in that area for sure.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes.
So I think that's, yeah, important. What other things do you feel like you're using? Anything else?
Not well. I'm not gonna say not really. Just it's more so just knowing the drug, the narcotics and things that we discussed in class. Just knowing how to properly dispose things, which is still kind of like a learning curve because if you don't, they don't have a lot of areas for you to have disposal, so you have to pay attention to the different bins that has what's supposed to go in here. Inhalers go here, XYZ. So those are some of the things as well from class that I use now as well.
We used to say in the hospital, and I know I've said this to students in the past too, you pretty much need like a diploma in throwing trash away when you work in a hospital. It is insane. There
Yes.
are so many rules and regulations and like
Mhm.
where it goes. It's insane. Like
Yes.
bin and
Yes.
what color bin and why and where and how
Mhm.
and when.
Mhm.
It's just crazy. So
Yeah.
um yeah, I'm glad that you are finding some things that you are able to utilize from the class. And guys, keep in mind, again, that inpatient and that retail are very, very different. And so when you have guest speakers come in and you're learning about where you want to go in the pharmacy world, keep in mind the things that you feel like you really did well at, really want to keep doing over and over again. Because like Carla said, she's using that math every day in
Mhm.
the IV room, as opposed to the SIG codes that were a little easier to catch on to sometimes.
Right. Mhm.
So, what are some of the drugs you see most often in your new career?
Zosyn, vancomycin, amoxicillin, um, pretty much all narcotics, basically. The X temps, we make a lot of those. But it varies from day to day. Some of them we see frequently. You will see it probably like a week straight, and the next week is something different that I have never even heard of before.
Yes, yes. So guys, the Zosyn and vancomycin, you guys have heard those words. A lot of you, if you've taken the class, you're in the class. You've heard Zosyn and especially vancomycin on our math slides when we work on math, when we talk about how to figure out how much you're going to put into a bag, etc.
Mhm.
Those are our have versus want
Mhm.
problems that we work on. Those are both IV medications. And so again, as Carla's in hospital pharmacy, that's where she is seeing those. And those aren't something that you're generally going to see in retail pharmacy. Vancomycin also comes in oral. Are you doing oral syringes as well for Vanc?
Mm-mm. No, just the bags.
Okay, so you can do
Mhm.
the oral Vanc as well, but definitely the bags. You guys have the Advantage bags that you just twist together
Mhm.
for Zosyn? You do?
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
remember
Yeah.
we had shortage on those Advantage bags and we had to make every single one of them.
Now we do
Sure.
have since Pfizer, I think something happened with Pfizer or something. I think they said it caught fire. So yeah, before I went out, we were making it.
Yes, yes. That can take a lot of time when you're used to using those Advantage bags. Oh my goodness. I love Advantage bags. Okay. What advice would you give to new pharmacy technicians or anyone going through this course?
Please pay attention. Please study. um, oh my God. Just be prepared for a change because pharmacy is completely different. It's scary, it's stressful, but at the end of the day, if you're like me who like to learn new stuff, you will definitely learn something every single day. Just go in with a positive mindset, knowing this is what you want to do, you know, that it is life changing. And just go for it.
Absolutely. One last question. I think all that is really great. I want to piggyback off of that a little bit and talk about how many pharmacy technicians do you work with on your team?
Um, So on day shift, it's a table technician, a IV room technician, a cart tech. So it's probably like six of us and two lead pharmacy technicians on
And
day
then you've
shift.
got the pharmacist on top of that, right?
Yes, and
And
then
so
each floor has a pharmacist. In the pharmacy is usually two pharmacists down in the pharmacist with us.
awesome. And so guys, I'm bringing this up because if you are not someone who can work with a group, we talk about these soft skills a lot at KLR. So if you're not 10 minutes early or late, Carla, how much time do you spend playing on your phone at work?
Oh, you don't have time. You really
Exactly.
don't.
You
You
can't
really
stay
don't
off
have
your
time.
phone. If you can't work well with a group, guys, we can teach you pharmacy and anyone can teach you. You can take any class you want, not just in pharmacy, but really anywhere. And if you can't work well with other people and you can't demonstrate those soft skills that our employers are looking for, you aren't going to make it in a team setting like that. And so it's really important to think about prior to finishing this course, prior to fixing your resume, prior to graduation, because those are big things that employers are really, really looking for. And I think it's really important to continue to talk about those things. And we talk about them a lot during class. But Carla, I remember you during class, you were always on top of it, always doing great. And always participating, willing to help anybody out, and you did awesome. It's so exciting to see where you're at now, and we are so proud of you and really
Thank you.
appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to have this interview with us. I know it will be really beneficial for incoming pharmacy technicians to listen to. But thank you so much, and we appreciate you. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you, Katie.
Guys, if you are interested in seeing more videos from KLR Medical Certification Training School, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. It does help us to continue to be able to make more content for you guys. And we will see you next time.